We're talking to Terry McGuire, who is, what is the title? Board of Directors of the Buffalo Naval Park. But he's had a lot of other titles and a lot of important community activities that he's been involved with over the past years, and he's a well-known figure here in our community. So we're actually really happy for the opportunity to ask him about not only the Naval Park, but some other matters that are important to us here in Western New York.
Judge, it's always great to see you.
So first of all, about the Naval Park, yes, you are now the chairman of the board of directors. We just heard a synopsis of the regulations that you have put into effect to be safe during and to reopen. What's the most important part of the reopening process?
Well, I think the most important part is to be healthy. We want to make sure everyone that does come to the park comes to the park healthy before they get here. One of the things that we're doing to make sure that we have healthy folks on board is to clear them before they get on our ships and our tours. But importantly, we want to maintain social distancing. And part of that will be to come online and have your tour scheduled in advance so we can space out our folks when they're on the ships and in the museum. So that's very important too.
Now, we were talking about the economic problems, of course, we're talking about the economic problems that have been caused by COVID across the whole country, and especially as we're talking about Western New York. Let's talk about what you're going to try to do to recover economically from the time that you've been closed and the money that you've lost during this COVID crisis.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. We were coming off one of our best years ever at the park, and heading into this season, obviously our spring encampments with our Sea Cadets and different encampment programs had to be canceled this spring, and it's likely that most of those will be canceled through the fall. And that represents a large chunk of our revenue. About 40% of our revenue comes from those encampments. So to make up for that, we have our All Hands on Deck campaign, spearheaded by the good folks at the Buffalo Renaissance Foundation that have helped us mint a coin to sell a coin at $100 a piece to help recover some of those funds. So we've come up with a beautiful coin, and this coin you can see right here, it's a limited edition. Only 1,000 of these coins have been minted, and this is coin number 8, by the way. But anyway, the Buffalo Renaissance Foundation did a great job of coming up with the leadership and the wherewithal to make this happen. And through Abby Mecca and the good folks there at our marketing firm, they've helped develop this program and really launch it to the community. Hopefully we can recover some of those funds.
And I don't know who thought of this, but they should get a lot of credit and kudos for having a fundraiser, a coin that is so patriotic and so relevant, and people would really be so honored to own the coin.
Yeah, it's a beautiful coin, and it features one of our great ships here, the USS Little Rock, and it's one of the only Cleveland-class vessels of its kind. In fact, it is the only Cleveland-class vessel of its kind. It's a light cruiser. Over 11,000 tons, over 600 feet. It's a big ship, and it costs a lot to maintain, along with the Sullivans, which has had some hull damage. So we're doing what we can to keep the operations and maintenance up at the park with this great campaign, the All Hands on Deck campaign.
And it does represent the pride and joy of as you said, along with the Sullivans. It's so meaningful that we at the park here, Buffalo Naval Park, have the honor of having the Sullivans and the ship.
Absolutely. It's the largest inland naval park in the United States, maybe the world. We have 4 beautiful ships here, to include a PTF Swift type boat from Vietnam that's under construction and refurbishment, and we have the Sullivans, the Little Rock, and the Croaker, which is our great submarine. So we're really proud of our ships, and we're proud of our docents, and most importantly, we're proud of our staff and our volunteers that give us this beautiful park, beautifully maintained, all volunteers. Over 150 volunteers that keep this park looking great.
And we hope we're going to have visitors very soon, and we're happy that we're going to be able to to have visitors.
Yes, we love to have our visitors, and we're so looking forward to getting back to some sense of normalcy.
We welcome them.
Thank you, Judge.
Congressman, thank you so much for being here. And the first question we really want to talk to you about, of course, is the Naval Park itself. How important is it to the whole canal side and the whole waterfront area?
It has been serving the people of Buffalo and Western New York, including and especially our veterans of different wars. But the one thing that is constant is the extraordinary commitment, courage, and love of country that they demonstrate. Some making the ultimate sacrifice. So for decades, this has been here. There's new leadership here now. Paul Marzello and Terry McGuire doing an outstanding job. We work very, very closely with them. My constituents are their constituents, and we're all in this together. So I just think it's a great tribute to both Paul and Terry and the great work that they do here on behalf of veterans, but on behalf of the entire Buffalo community. They have been outliers in terms of waterfront development. They were here much longer when this was still a working industrialized waterfront, and as it's transitioning, they have helped lead the way for more recreation and cultural additions as well. So we're just very pleased to be back here. We'd like to spend a lot of time here recognizing our veterans and their military service, and the Buffalo and Erie County Naval and Military Park under the leadership of Paul Marzello and Terry McGuire are always so welcoming and collaborating with us so that we can honor the veterans who have done so much for this country and for this community.
Now, just like every other organization, not only here but in the whole country, they've obviously had some economic problems and are suffering because of the COVID delay in opening and all of the restrictions and the problems that they have had to meet the restrictions and to meet the qualifications to open again. What do you think is going to happen economically? Will they be okay, and will they be able to make up the deficit?
Yeah, I think to their credit, again, they're very creative in trying to make up the revenues that they've lost. I think Paul had indicated 80 to 90% of their revenues has to do with people coming into and out of the park here. So, but they have a fundraising program. In addition, they have opened with good social distancing. It's unfortunately not a place that you can have large groups of people in small spaces. So they are finding ways to ensure that people can enjoy the Naval Park without compromising their health and safety, and that that takes a lot of work. So we're going to be there with them every step of the way to do whatever it is we can to help them regain a good portion of their income through visitors and other creative ways that both Paul and Terry have talked about.
Now, we're talking about COVID and the effect it had, of course, down at the waterfront and canal side and with the Naval Park. But let's talk a little bit about the effect it's had on our economy in our area particularly.
Yeah, well, you've got 135,000 Americans are dead of COVID-19. 3 million people have it. About 20 million people unemployed. You have an economy that in many sectors has contracted by some 90%, restaurants and cultural. So we have a long way to go, but I think the one thing that we have to keep in mind, we are all in this together. We can't pick winners and losers. This was not the fault of the Buffalo, Erie County Naval and Military Park. This was not the fault of a downtown restaurant. This was not the fault of a school system. This was something that we can't control. The virus doesn't care if you're President of the United States, a member of Congress, or a bricklayer. We are all in this together, so we all have to be part of the process of coming out of it. It's ironic that, some 4 months ago, because New York State took this very seriously and had an early, strong, and unified response from the governor's office down to our county executive, our mayor, that our cases are going down, and considerably so, despite having to, suffer through this, and particularly our fellow citizens. Now other states that were smirking at New York State for being so serious about this are now experiencing spikes, and the daily number of cases and deaths are exceeding the worst points of our experience right here in New York State. And again, as I said up there, Judge, we have to recognize that there is no treatment for this. There is no vaccine. And the only thing that we can do is to socially distance, to wear masks, and to practice good personal hygiene. And never in our lifetime has your health been tied to mine, and mine to yours, and my family to yours, and your family to mine. So we have to recognize that we have to do the right thing on behalf of our fellow citizens. This is not about rights. This is about responsibility. The responsibility that we have to our families, the responsibility that we have to each other. We have to be good sons and daughters of our nation.
We hope to see you here at the Buffalo Naval and Military Park, and I hope that you will enjoy it as much as we have and enjoy all of the beautiful surroundings that it has to offer. I am Penny Wolfgang in for Phil Arno. See you again soon.
Anchors aweigh, my boys, anchors aweigh. Farewell to college joys, we sail at break of day, 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 day. Throw our last night on shore, bring to the foam. Until we meet once more, here's wishing you a happy voyage home.